All right, folks, WonderCon 2011, and I'm going to make a confession, yes, one of my crushes when I was a kid, the one and only Jane Wiedlin. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Pretty good. Now, of course, back then, you know, we all loved the Go-Go's, but back then everybody seemed to be fixated on Billy the Carillon, and I don't blame him, frankly, but for me, it was Jane Wiedlin.
Well, that's very kind of you. Thanks.
So now, since we're here at WonderCon, now why don't you get the people, let the people know what you're doing here?
Oh, well, I'm a geek, so I like to hang out with my people. Let's see. I'm here. I used to come as a fan, and I decided this year I would come as an exhibitor, and I brought my comic book, Lady Robotica, that I wrote with my partner, Bill Morrison. It's a sci-fi comic, kind of funny, and it features me becoming a superhero. Okay. So one of my fantasies. It's a character based on you. It is, indeed. I was in Star Trek 4, so I got sort of the sci-fi connection, and I just like to come and hang out with the peeps.
Yes, of course. Now, why don't you get into a little specifics on the comic book? What inspired you to to make?
I was in San Jose at SuperCon, I guess 4 years ago. Yeah, God, 4 years now. And I met Bill Morrison, who is a artist and writer for The Simpsons and Futurama, and we just became really good friends. And he said, we ought to do a project together. How about a comic book? And to be honest, I never thought of doing a comic book, and I was really glad he suggested it. Took us a really long time to get it together, but last summer it finally came out, and now we're working on the next issue coming out very soon, which is going to actually be digital instead of on paper.
So is there anything specific that you can talk about, like what kind of powers do you
Well, the thing is, here, I'll show you everybody, but that's issue 1. So what happens, I'll briefly tell the story. I'm doing a show at a club, and when I leave, I get abducted by aliens, and I get experimented on. And
That's not based on a true story, is it?
No, it is a true story. It's all true. Anyways, they end up injecting me with nanotechnology, and I become a cyborg. So I'm part human, part robot, and because I have the nanotechnology in me, the nanites, and I learned how to control them, I can do all kinds of like superhuman great stuff. Anyway, and I become a freer of the oppressed throughout the galaxy.
Now, where can fans get this? Is it out on stores? Can they get it on the website?
It was in comic stores for a little bit, but it's totally sold out. So you might be able, you can still get it on my website, janewiedlin.com, or my ladyrobotica.com website. And when the next issue comes out digitally online, we're also going to reissue the first episodes too, so people can follow the story.
Now, I want to briefly talk about your experience on the Surreal Life. You revealed kind of a secret on that show.
Yes, I revealed that I was a kinky pervert, and that I was into the SM scene.
Welcome to my dirty little secret, as you said.
Yeah, that was fun.
I was appalled when Dubrat, who I'm sure a lot of people didn't know who the Go-Go's was. I mean, I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you from this planet? And I'm just speaking it like it is.
It was crazy. Everyone in that house was out of their minds, and it was a very intense experience. The camera's on you 24/7, and lots of long nights and lots of drinking. And the thing with Dubrat was kind of weird because I got along fine with her, like the whole production. Like we filmed for 2 weeks, and then at the very end, I found out that she's been like talking behind everybody's back and stuff, and really pissed me off. And yeah, I mean, of course, it isn't required that if you're a woman in the music business that you know of the Go-Go's, but I would think a smart person would, because we were the first successful all-female band. The first.
Well, if you know about pop culture, for God's sakes, early MTV, I mean, come on now.
Yeah, so whatever. Yeah. Her loss.
But speaking of the Go-Go's, I heard you guys are reuniting and touring.
Yeah, well, not exactly reuniting. We just, we haven't really broken up and got back together. We just kind of don't work as often as we used to, and we are doing a summer tour this year. The tour is titled Ladies Gone Wild.
One of my memories is like, watching the movie Fast Times at Richmond High, and the first thing you hear is that drum beat.
Yep.
I mean, come on.
That is the sound of the 80s right there.
Yeah. I mean, And of course, your videos. I want you to talk about your videos, especially the video, Turn to You, co-starring Rob Lowe, of course.
Oh yeah, Rob Lowe was in that. It was fun. We got to cross-dress in it. The story in the video had us as a boy band, so we got to dress up like boys, which is really funny and silly. And then we also played girls. I don't know. You know how videos in the day, they were elaborate and expensive, and I don't even know if people make videos anymore. Do they?
We got Ron Skull. Do you have any questions for Jay?
How does it feel to have like an album that go right to #1?
It took a year to get to #1, so it didn't go straight there. But yeah, of course, it was really exciting. And unfortunately, it was like 1,000 years ago, or else I could tell you more about how I felt. I'm sure I felt fantastic, because who wouldn't? But yeah, that was it was an honor. And I kind of love that about the career of my band, that no one can ever take that away from us. We were first, and we busted open doors for women musicians and women songwriters, and feel good about that.
I thought it was pretty interesting when you worked with Sparks, that single Cool Places, that was a huge hit, wasn't it?
It was a pretty good hit, and that was fun because Sparks were my favorite band in high school, so it was really fun to get to sing with them.
You worked in the cult film Live Freaky about Charles Manson.
It was an all-puppet film, and I played the voice of Squeaky Fromm. That was a weird and fun project.
Yeah, you even did some songs on it.
Yes, I sang some songs, and that movie also featured the amazing Billy Joe Armstrong.
Do you ever hear that joke, how come the Go-Go's aren't pregnant?
Because their lips are sealed? Wah, wah.
There you go. All right. I'll be here all the week. Anyway.